Hey guys, it's Christian from deathofacne.com. I got the wonderful opportunity to interview a awesome acupuncturist, Dr. Jeff DePaula. Why don't you listen in?
And if you're not eating foods that generally have probiotics in them, like sauerkraut or naturally fermented pickles or things like that, kombucha, lacto-fermented foods, then you're going to just be putting in foods that are going to be using them up, and you need to be, traditionally in traditional diets, they had those foods that help to restore that balance, that inner ecosystem, which prevented them from not only getting acne, but also other intestinal bugs and things like that. So that's
chronic diseases.
Chronic diseases, but right. So that goes back to your immune system, your immune health, your overall health.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing how your body just takes care of everything if you just feed it the right equipment.
If you feed it the right things and you move it and you rest it and you don't stress it out too much, it does a pretty good job.
Yeah, it's
yeah. Our culture in the U.S. is quite unhealthy in many ways. With eating, we have some of the worst. We're one of the richest countries in the world, and we have some of the worst food. So we also have some of the most stressful conditions in the world. People are working 80 hours a week and 2 jobs and trying to juggle all these things. We're just getting busier and busier and busier. I mean, in my lifetime, I feel like things have gotten 10 times busier than they were even 15 years ago. You know, with the cell phones and the internet and everything just, you know, that's a type of stress, psychological, chronic, low-grade, wears away at you type of stress.
yeah.
Yeah. So.
Is there our adrenal glands help our body cope with stress? Is there a way of nourishing the adrenals and helping them out?
Absolutely. Well, adrenal fatigue is actually something that is quite common and is, you know, as candidiasis, chronic candidiasis or yeast or fungal overgrowth is just starting to be more recognized in the Western medical allopathic realm. As you know, 10 years ago it was poo-pooed, and basically people only thought of candida when it came to, oh, you have a yeast infection, oh, it's women. Only
Right.
women get yeast infections, and that's not the case. Just, you know, this past week I saw 2 men who came in with fungal infections. One guy was sinus infection, and another guy had it in his feet. I mean, he had basically no toenails because he had fungal infection his whole life, and they've got so thick that the doctor pulled them out. So, and he had, you know, typically when I have people come in, I have them do this survey, which gives them sort of it's not a definitive, but it gives them a range of shades of gray of how much their lifestyle and past history is set them up for yeast or fungal overgrowth. And that is something that is, I think you're going to be hearing a lot more about, because yeast and fungus, what does yeast and fungus need to grow? It needs sugar, which is in our diet all the time. I mean, the average person drinks like 6 Pepsis a day or something like that. Or it's ridiculous. I don't know what the stat is, but it's like at least a few sodas a day. And if I'm not drinking them and you're not drinking them, that means someone else is drinking a 12-pack.
Yeah, and even scarier, my brother just pointed to the fact that coffee is consumed more than water in America, like more gallons of coffee.
And soda is cheaper than water.
It's scary.
You go into the store,
Yeah, that's
Pepsi
true.
is less expensive than a bottle of Poland spring water. Spring water. Something's wrong there.
And
Something is really wrong.
Something is wrong. But you know what? This is good that we get that education, because education is what people need. The information.
Absolutely.
I find that I'm talking with so many people, and they're like, "Are you serious?" Like I'm just keep relaying facts to them, and slowly we're gonna start changing people's mindsets.
Right. I mean, they've been saying that diet doesn't relate to acne for decades. When I was in high school and had acne, I got put on tetracycline as well, and I had this, food does not relate to acne, blah blah blah.
It's like, oh, chocolate doesn't matter.
Yeah, I would disagree with that 100%, and I'd be willing to test any dermatologist that would like to compete with me on that particular event. Okay, we'll take a double-blind control study, and I'll give your group Pepsi and junk food, and I'll give my group healthy food, and we'll do the same treatment on both, and we'll see what happens and wait a couple months.
And I'm gonna have my money on you. Because you just let the body heal itself.
Right.
It's just fantastic.
Right. And if you're not repopulating and feeding, you're taking antibiotics, and how are antibiotics discovered? Penicillin was discovered accidentally by a guy who was trying to grow a bacteria in a petri dish, and some mold released a mycotoxin, which is what it does. The yeast mold releases a mycotoxin which killed the bacteria. Thus, that was the penicillin. So what does the mold and yeast fungal do? It kills the healthy bacteria. And so you need to have more bacteria, which will then, and you also need to repopulate your body with foods that are not going to be feeding the mold and yeast and fungus. Because if you're taking even herbal we'll say acne therapies, whether it's Western medicine, antibiotics, or whether it's some other supplement, if you're continuing to eat sugary, dairy, and foods that are made with flour, pasta, breads, cakes, cookies, bagels, you're going to be feeding it. So on one hand you're killing it, and on the other hand you're feeding it. So you're sort of treading water. You're not going to have a big improvement until you change your diet, until you keep your diet clean. Your skin is a manifestation of the internal environment of your body. It's just showing you that it's like turning you inside out. It's like the internal picture.
Yeah, so it's almost like a warning sign.
It's a sign that says there's inflammation, there's infection going on inside, and your skin is one of your largest organs of detoxification with your liver and kidneys.
That's unreal. That's very insightful. I'm not trying to say that all antibiotics are bad, because I actually wouldn't be here if I didn't take an antibiotic for, I had Lyme disease really bad.
No, Lyme disease I would actually recommend antibiotics, because that's something you don't want to mess around with.
Yeah, but then, just after that, I just got back onto nourishing my body, and I was fine with that, and, going back.
Repopulating with probiotics.
Absolutely. Introducing
good clean living.
Yeah, good clean living, exactly. And a lot of people I noticed ask me about liver cleansing. They say, I've been eating, I've been populating my gut, I've been nourishing my body with vitamins, minerals, all that good stuff, and my colon's been fine, but they still feel a little sluggish through the day.
Take two.
Sluggish.
Through the day, yeah.
Why is the liver so important in helping the body deal with impurities? I hope you enjoyed the interview. What's really cool is that if you want more information, more videos, more education, visit the site www.deathofacne.com, and hope to hear from you soon. Take care.